All right, we're back. Hey everybody, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are liking these videos. We got Penticton in less than 2 weeks, and I want to use this time to tell you some things that I've learned, some things that I've done in the past besides my half Ironman, because I have done some pretty cool things. I learned a lot from them, and I want to bring it to you guys. Half Ironman was great conditions, great atmosphere, great environment. The guy I look up to, I don't know if he's gonna see it, but Blake Shock, I don't know. Got to meet you, so that was really cool, and it's just a fun community to be around and surround yourself with people that are like you, I think with triathlon training, it gets lonely, like we said before, but seeing everybody work together, everybody commit, everybody cross that finish line was really something amazing. In terms of the actual race, swim went well. I could have done longer, but it felt fine. The bike, I was really happy about because I got to stay patient, and I just waited for the right times for me to move forward. So what I found is on the bike, on the uphills, I would actually do really well. And then on the flats, staying patient, know that this is just the middle of the race. You don't need to go hard. Where I felt like I messed up on this race, where I could have done better, first off, my fueling for the running, I only had 2 gels. For this one, I'm more aware of it. I may have a water with me that has some electrolytes, maybe some salt tablets as well. Eddie, appreciate you. You've been giving me a lot of good advice in terms of like having salt pills, having granola bars that are heavy in carbs. So there definitely has been a change in my nutrition strategy, and I'm gonna share it as well. But the run in general, it got really hot. I started off my pace at like 4:20. It just went downhill from there. The race, I just didn't expect it to be very hilly. There was parts that I had to walk, to be honest, because my running was it was the same pace. And so I found that I have to stay patient with my run. Recognize that when I do the 21-kilometer run, that first kilometer is not your first kilometer. It's more like your 15th. And what I mean by that is, yes, it's your first kilometer of running, but mentally, physically, you're going to be feeling a lot more tired. You're going to have less energy. So it's important not to just burst out of the gates, go hard. And that's what I need to remember for this full one, is to stay patient. Now, on the last video that you guys got to see, I actually did a 225-kilometer bike ride with Ethan. And that was one of the craziest days ever. That took 12 hours. I got home at 6 p.m., fell asleep. I can barely remember the full day, but what I do remember and what I think is super important is hydration on that day. It was a very hot day, 33 degrees, and we were biking for very long, like 9 hours. What I guess we didn't think of was hydration, and we had to keep stopping right after the 120-kilometer mark, keep stopping, trying to find water anywhere we could. This I can't do on the race day, so I gotta mentally prepare for that, and I also have to make sure that the water and the hydration that I'm bringing with me is gonna be good enough to last me those 6 hours. Or I gotta know when I gotta pick up water. I gotta make sure that I'm reaching out for them, getting it, because seriously, if you have no water, what it literally feels like on a bike is you can be biking like how you normally bike, and you can look around, look anywhere else, and it just goes black. And that's actually what happened to Ethan. And so I gotta make sure to watch out for that, because in Penticton, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be a lot of elevation. So water, just salt tabs. Last one, and actually this is the biggest one, and that's why we have all this out. So this was my past nutrition. We had goo gels, we had cis gels. Cis gels are actually pretty good, but we just kept going with goos. And then we also were using Noon tablets, maple syrup as well. When I did the 5:90:21, and sorry, the 5:90:21 is Eddie mentioned. Eddie is just a friend's dad who's done Ironmans, and so he was giving me advice and said, hey, you know what, make sure you practice, try doing the half 90-kilometer 21K run, just feel comfortable with it. Once you do that, you'll have a lot more confidence going into the full. And so I was like, hey, you know what, this weekend I had a brick session, I had basically that. So I decided to do it. But I decided to also do the 5K run at the start to mix it up a little bit, to make it almost like the swim portion. But it was terrible. It was terrible. It was the worst thing. I failed it. I mean, I don't know if I failed it, but I had to stop. I had to go to Village Grocer. I had to get food. I had to get a sandwich. And the reason for that is because when I got to the 21-kilometer run, my stomach couldn't handle any more of that drink of maple syrup and Noon tablets. It couldn't take any more goos. I know people have said like, oh, you just can't take anymore, but in my head, what I think is you can just keep eating more. When you're actually in that state, it doesn't work. You can't shove more down because it just hurts. Like your stomach hurts, your body hurts. I just didn't like that. And one thing that I did very bad on this one is I actually had too much carbs. I was having about 130, 140 grams of carbs. It was too much. And then on the run, absolutely just died. Had no more in me to eat more. Basically just had to walk for the 15th to 17th kilometer.
I need to just literally walk this. This is like, oh, it hurts so much.
So I just thought, okay, at least I figured this out earlier. Take a step back, see what I can change. I think the maple syrup and the noon was a good option, but I wanted to try something different. We actually go different here. We go with a liquid IV, which I got from Costco, which has 500 milligrams of sodium. And then we also go different here, and these are the Mortons. This one is the gel, and this is the one that goes in your water. These are so weird. This is more like applesauce, and this one is like Jello. The reason why I go with these is because on race day, they actually are gonna be giving these ones out. And so might as well train with them, because if I need more, it'll be on the race course. And I practiced last weekend with a 170 kilometer bike ride with a 24-kilometer run, and they were amazing. They did no problems. Hopefully it stays the same. I will say in the 590-21, what felt amazing was going to Village Grocer and eating real food like sandwiches. So I'm gonna have a sandwich at the 150K mark. You'll see it. And then I'm gonna have another one at the T2 mark. At T2, I'm simply just gonna like rest, realize that I just biked 180 kilometers, be proud of it, take my time to put on my running shoes, and then go. There's no point in rushing. There's no point in like saving 10 seconds, because it's 42 kilometers. It's gonna take a long time. Might as well be very healthy for it, feel ready. Yeah, exactly. And so I think a sandwich, eating real food, is gonna be a lot better than, even having another one of these gels. I don't know. But I'm gonna do it because it worked and it was good. This is it. Like, the next video you guys are gonna see will be me crossing that finish line, and I'm nervous. I'm excited to do it. Really, I'm just taking this next week to rest, to have fun. All right, signing off. I'll see you guys in BC.
See you.